Researchers believe they have found a way to add critical nutrients to rice, a dietary staple in countries like the Philippines. But those changes tap directly into concerns over genetically modified food.
During the last decade, the acreage of GM crop production has more than doubled globally. In 2015, nearly 180 million hectares were planted with genetically engineered crops worldwide. During the last decade, the acreage of GM crop production has more than doubled globally. In 2015, nearly 180 million hectares were planted with genetically engineered crops worldwide. By country comparison, the United States had the highest acreage of GM crops. Genetically engineered crops have become wildly popular in the United States since agrochemical company Monsanto has introduced their Roundup Ready soybeans in the mid-90s. Today, soybeans remain the GM crop, accounting for the largest proportion of GM crop acreage worldwide. One of the main reported benefits of adopting genetically engineered crops is increased crop yields. Genetically modified crops, also known as GM crops, are plants used in agriculture, which have been modified by using genetic engineering methods. The genetic modifications are done in order to create crop varieties with desirable traits, such as tolerance against herbicides and specific pests. Even if we ignore the environmental and health concerns for GM crops, there are other issues which give rise to concern. One is the claim that genetically engineered crops are the only way to feed the world. The other is the control of the world's food supply by just a few agribusinesses. The seeds from GM crops are patented by the agribusinesses who produced them. Farmers are forbidden to save their seed. This means that 1.4 billion poor farmers, especially in Africa, who traditionally saved and shared seed from one harvest to the next, could be tied into buying new seed every year at a price set by the GM seed producer. For instance, even the food we eat today are genetically modified. One of the pillars of biotechnology in the country said an everyday Filipino breakfast can include hot dog, cheese, coffee, fruit juice, eggs, corned beef, and even chocolate bars, all containing genetically modified texture vegetable protein, or TVP.
GMOs are found mostly on food products, and ever since then, the advantages and disadvantages of this technology have been debated.
Genetic engineering allows simple changes to certain crops, and these minor changes have its major impacts.
To give you an example, Food and Agriculture Organization suggested that one way of diminishing vitamin A deficiencies is to genetically modify rice to have higher levels of vitamin A or retinol. Due to the fact that a big portion of the world's population consumes rice on a daily basis, vitamin deficiency would be given solution with this minor change. Another example is modified bananas, engineered to contain higher levels of vitamin A, which is said to be something that will save millions of malnourished people from dying or going blind from retinol deficiencies.
Too beautiful is a Chinese girl.
This is the doctor who changed the future of the human race and let the world know on YouTube. He Jiankuai stunned the scientific community with the claim he pushed the boundary no one else had.
A line has been crossed that should not have been crossed.
It's very disturbing, it's inappropriate.
Oh, this is huge.
He says he genetically edited human embryos, not just for research but for implantation, leading to the world's first births of genetically altered humans, baby girls born in China from embryos designed to be resistant to HIV.
So to further discuss about the GMO food industry is, one of the disadvantages of this is the increased risk of food allergies or the food intolerance.
Animal testing may be highly controversial, but it should not be noted that GMO food studies in animals have found organ impacts in virtually every circumstance.
So in humans like me, there may be increase of food allergy and digestive intolerance because of the genetic modification.
When plants produce pesticides inside of the plant to kill insects.
So with basic definition, that fact is toxic.
And now it has become prime concern of consumers. In the United States, 70% of the foods contains genetically modified ingredients, and this could lead increased risk of a new allergy on foods.
If you'd ask me, I say that genetically modified organism or food has been part of our lives, and it would make such huge impact by removing this. Because technically, we engage with genetically modified food almost every single day. Therefore, we say provide sufficient funds for further studies on GMO for a brighter future ahead.
Being one as a nation.
Being one as a nation.
Being one as a nation that supports scientists.
On researches.
To enhance what has been researched on.
And modify mistakes of early GMO.